If you're just getting started in golf, you are in immediate danger of making one of two massive money mistakes. You're either going to buy a super cheap box set that looks like a total steal, but you outgrow it almost instantly, or you're going to massively overpay because clever marketing convinced you that you need premium top-tier gear right out of the gate. So let's dive into this explainer and get you sorted. And hey, stick around, because later on, I'm going to reveal the one hidden detail buyers completely ignore that absolutely ruins what looks like a great cheap deal.
Look, if you're an everyday golfer just wanting to save cash and actually improve your swing, neither of those two extremes is the smart move. When you pay for extra tech, brand hype, or some shiny name you saw on TV, you're basically paying for features a new golfer simply won't even notice. You don't need professional level spin rates, right? You just need a set that helps you hit the ball consistently without completely draining your wallet.
Finding a beginner golf set that's actually worth your hard-earned money really comes down to 5 practical things. Number 1, forgiveness. You don't need clubs that severely punish every single off-center strike. 2, set makeup. You want enough clubs to cover the course, but not so many that you're overwhelmed. 3, long-term usability. They should still be playable after you improve a bit. 4, bag quality, because this is exactly where companies love to cut corners. And 5, true value. And trust me, true value is absolutely not the same thing as just having the lowest price tag.
Let's look at our first option, the Callaway Strata. This specific line stays super popular year after year for one simple reason. It removes all the guesswork for a true beginner. It's just a simple, easy starting point. You get the full package, it's widely available, and it's built for golfers who just want to get out on the grass and play without piecing together a bag club by club. But let's be totally honest about its real weakness. If you're a fast improver or a naturally gifted athlete, you are going to outgrow these clubs really quickly, and you'll want to upgrade sooner rather than later.
Now, because the Strata is so incredibly popular, there's a massive used market for it. But if buying used, this next point matters a lot. You have to check the bag hard. I'm talking about thoroughly testing the zippers, checking the stability of the stand legs, and making sure the head covers are fully intact. In these packaged beginner sets, the accessories degrade way faster than the steel and graphite.
Moving on to our second option, the Wilson Profile SGI. This one really helps build our understanding of the beginner market. Wilson focuses heavily on extreme forgiveness here. If you have a slower swing speed, this set is engineered specifically to help you get the ball airborne without a ton of extra effort. It gives you maximum help. But, to be brutally honest again, better athletes or fast swingers should avoid it completely. You will quickly outgrow the feel and the overall lack of control as your ball striking inevitably improves.
And actually, this is exactly where most golfers waste money. You might see a heavily discounted Wilson deal online and immediately jump on it without checking the shaft flex. Listen, if you buy a quote-unquote cheap deal with a shaft flex that doesn't match your actual physical swing speed, it turns into an incredibly frustrating, money-wasting purchase. A good deal on the wrong club is always a bad deal.
Before you buy, you need to hear this next part. Let's look at the Cobra Fly XL. This sits perfectly in that sweet middle zone of the market. It gives you a much more modern, name-brand complete set, but crucially, it has room to grow. It balances beginner forgiveness with enough long-term upside that it won't feel too entry-level after your first season. It's a really strong long-term value play.
But there's a massive trap here too. Cobra's main weakness isn't the clubs themselves, it's the pricing structure. Depending on current retail prices, a box set like the Fly XL can get so expensive that it approaches the exact cost of a custom, pieced-together setup of slightly older premium clubs. You have to be extremely careful that you aren't overpaying simply for the convenience of buying everything perfectly packaged in one single box.
Now, if you prioritize pure performance over status, you really need to look at the Tour Edge Bazooka 370. This is the highly underrated pick for budget-conscious golfers. Tour Edge focuses heavily on usability and forgiveness instead of trying to sell pure hype. But the glaring weakness here? Resale appeal. Because it lacks that highly recognizable premium logo, you simply won't get much money back if you try to sell them down the line.
The cheaper option is not always worse. Here is the catch. Lesser-known brands like Tour Edge only make financial sense if the build quality, the condition, and the club makeup align perfectly with the lower price. If they don't, well, you aren't finding a hidden gem. You're just buying cheap metal that will frustrate you out on the course.
Which brings us to the precise M5 for golfers on the absolute tightest budgets. Yes, the accessibility is great because it gets you onto the course with a full bag, but let's be incredibly direct about its flaws. The long-term quality is very poor. If you buy this extremely cheap set, the driver, putter, or bag will likely break, dent, or tear quickly. And the high cost of early replacements makes this deal surprisingly expensive in the long run.
This next part changes the final answer completely. You have to decide your personal priority right now. Do you want the sheer convenience of a brand new, complete set in one box? Or do you want the absolute maximum value, which comes from building a used mixed bag of individual clubs? The new box is easy, sure, but the mixed bag is where your dollar goes furthest, even though it takes a little extra effort.
Most buyers skip this and regret it later. You have to match your shaft flex, shaft length, and set makeup to your specific swing. Even on budget golf gear, the wrong length or flex will make the clubs actively fight against your natural motion. It turns an already tough game into an incredibly frustrating one.
So are older name brand clubs actually a better deal than a brand new beginner box? The direct answer is often yes. A high-quality used iron set, paired with the forgiving driver from a few years ago, is almost always the smartest route. Assuming the condition is solid, meaning no heavy face wear, damaged ferrules, or cracked driver crowns, it will easily outperform a cheap, brand new box set.
All right, so here is the crucial final verdict. Feel free to screenshot this list for your records. Buy the Strata for the simplest all-in-one start. Buy the Wilson for maximum beginner help with slow swings. Buy the Cobra Fly XL if you want room to grow and the price isn't inflated. Buy the Tour Edge for pure budget performance. And skip the Precise M5 entirely unless your budget has zero flexibility and you know exactly what you're getting into.
Your final value verdict is that best value is entirely dependent on you, the individual golfer. Do not overpay for convenience, and definitely do not buy the absolute cheapest set blindly just because the price tag looks appealing. Be strategic and think about your personal timeline in the sport.
Let's find your exact right set. Drop your budget, your current handicap, the gear you're playing right now, and your usual miss, whether it's a slice, a hook, thin, or fat, down in the comments for personalized advice. And make sure to subscribe to Budget T-Box to stop overspending on gear. So here is a final thought to leave you with. Are you currently playing clubs that actually fit your swing mechanics?